hey.
You gotta think about it. Think about it.
Game Girl. Game Boy.
Superstar DJs. Here we go!
Hey guys and girls, I hope everyone is doing well. I'm here to do a quick video. It's going to be a video response to the very worthy channel Tony Fighter 2. Go and check Tony out if you don't already subscribe to him. As it's in the name, he loves his fighters, but he loves oh so much more. And he has some glorious pickups he goes through. It's broader than games. Quite often he talks about other YouTube channels that he's watching, other kind of films, TV stuff that he's watching, books stroke comics that he's reading, and of course games that he's playing. But always some really interesting stuff he collects. An absolute lovely guy. So go and check him out. So Tony's done or started off a bit of a video series. He's tagged 2 people, and it's titled 10 games that you'd never sell. And I think originally when I was reflecting on it, and I think Tony talks about it a little bit in his video, and I'll link him of course in the description, so go and watch that video. I thought, is that not going to cross over into top 10 video games, your favourite video games? And it kind of does in some respects, but not in others. And I think that'll be quite apparent when I go through my 10. So without further ado, let's crack on. So the first one, they're not all chronological, but this one's sitting near the top, so we're going to pick on this one. I've spoken about it several times. Horus Goes Skiing for the Specky. I'm sure it is one of the first or second Specky game that I ever played. If it wasn't this one, it might have been Survival, one of the packing games with the 48k. But this is an absolute corker of a game. I'm sure anyone in the familiar with the Specky and micros would know of this game and this series. But this one's probably best described 2 parts. The first bit is a bit of Frogger type action. You're crossing the road, but you're there to basically get your skis, get your ski equipment, and then come back. And the second part is to actually ski down the slopes, work your way through the flags, avoid those trees, and max out those points. So an absolute corker. Just based on this, is it a great game? To be honest, I'd say it is a great game, particularly for that era. It's the nostalgia and all the rest of it is why I'd be keeping this one on the collection, and up there to my left with the other Specky games on the shelf. So that's the first one. These are just not in really kind of ranks. It's just the 10 basically. I wouldn't be moving on. This one I'm taking a bit of a liberty. We're stepping outside of home computers and systems, but it's a game nonetheless. So Game & Watch, Goldcliff, and very recent pickup because I think I lost it, or maybe my mum and dad moved it on over time. But managed to buy it back earlier this year from the London gaming market. It's a fantastic little platformer. You work your way up, and you got a bit of a Indiana Jones type character. It's probably best described. But you've got to get from the bottom to the top of the screen. You've got platforms that appear, disappear, and you've got to time your jumps just right to make your way up. You get the key, you get to the top, you unlock the kind of treasures. And shortly after, you similar kind of setup, but you go up. But this time, you have to grab the knife, and then there's an enemy waiting for you at the top. It's very Raiders of the Lost Ark, but an absolute cork of the game. And this will be safely looked after. I won't be moving this one on, that's for sure. This next one did appear. I'm sure it appeared in top 10. I don't know, few top 10s, and I know sometimes there's a little bit of variation, particularly on maybe the 7, 8, 9s, but this one is firmly a bit of a constant, I guess, if you look back at any of the top 10 videos that I've done. Capcom game, one of the early Game Boy games they ever owned. I bought it and played it out in France on a bit of a family holiday, and it's got some RPG, some top-down elements, but you cut some it's random encounters, which is stuff I don't typically enjoy. But this one, bear an exception, random encounter, and then it throws you into a bit of an action platformer. The enemies are just gruesome, horrible, and just awesome. And your powers, such as your jump and your fire, they just obviously enhance as you go through the game, and certain parts become more accessible. And it's a tough bloody game, but a great one. Awesome soundtrack as well. This one, in terms of playability, is probably one of the worst games in the collection, but I'm not going to be moving it on. And it's Barbie. We've got it the way around. Yep, Barbie Gloom and Glam Pups. So this is one of the very painfully final games that I got when getting the kind of 3DS full set. An overly kind of expensive game, even though I got it from I got a lovely guy out in Sweden, which is a video in itself. So if you get a chance, go and check that one out. I still paid far more than I ever would want to pay in a Barbie game, and that is anything above 0 pence basically. So bittersweet, bitter in terms of the cost, the fact it's not going to get played. I literally just tried it genuinely. Haven't completed it. Plugged it in, checked it worked, and then it's pretty much been banished to the shelf. But as you know, if you're going to do any full sets, it's my one only last. I won't be doing that again. But yeah, you do need to pick up some of the crap. Let's be frank. But it won't be. It goes for a silly amount on. I say it goes for a silly amount on eBay. There's a few on eBay. They're not really going anywhere, so arguably that's not really defining its their value. And be careful, because some on there people try and move on the French version. But yeah, unless you look at the pictures fairly closely, you could get a bit tricked and buy something that isn't really UK PAL. Another corker of a game. So we've got Paw Patrol. The reason this is in here is because it's the first. I don't know if it was the first game I played with my son. It was certainly the first game we ever kind of completed together. Very, very obviously very easy to do, but nice little milestone in itself. One that he really enjoyed playing, and every now and again, periodically, he'll go back and play it. And I think he has maxed it out. Every little kind of coin, every bloody dog biscuit that you could find in this thing, he has gathered up. So Paw Patrol on a roll. They did a few other ones in the series which we got, but to be honest, they're all much of a muchness. But if I move this on, I think he'd shoot me down in flames. But maybe this will be his kind of Horus go skin when he's a bit older, or maybe not. Maybe it'll just be an effing embarrassment for him. But we'll see. This one I picked up off the back of or on an auction, I should say. I haven't done auctions for a while. I'm not talking about eBay auctions. I'm talking, auction houses and then online, other kind of online live auctions. And I always find I've probably bored people this before, if you're checking out like a toy auction, and then most people will be focused obviously on the toys, but then you'll get the odd video game, and the video games a bit less interest. You can get some good bargains, vice versa as well. If you have video game auctions, toys pop up, and it's not really what people are looking for. So it's quite a good way of doing it. So I got this one. I didn't really know much about it. I wouldn't say it's rare, but it's fairly uncommon. So it's Tetris for the NES, but it's the Tengen version. So this was put out on the shelves. Tengen, I think, like a subsidiary part of Atari. I think at the time, hopefully I've got this right, I think Nintendo said that developers, publishers could only put out a certain amount of games in any given year or period. I think Atari had probably done their quota, so they'd set up Tengen. So there's a few other Tengen titles. I'm sure a lot of you folk know this, the kind of the subset a lot better than myself. Atari stroke Tengen thought they had the rights to put this out, but in fact they only had the rights for the arcade, and they didn't have any rights to any kind of home computer, or including portables such as the Game Boy. So Nintendo, lawsuit, and Tenjin were forced to pull them, but a few got out. I think we're talking thousands, you know, so it's not, like I say, it's not rare, but it's just a nice one to have. I don't have many NES games. I've got some behind me there, maybe like the, you know, the Marios. I just kept, like, you know, a few little titles, but this one, I think, because of the way it came about, and it's a bit of a curiosity, and it's in nice condition. It's got complete. I won't get it out. There's like a poster and all the gubbins. I think even like the help phone. You know, you can kind of call up the not entirely sure why you phone them up unless your game was faulty, but like the helpline, I should say, and stuff like that. So it's nice and complete. This one, yeah, again, it's probably one that was in top 10. I'm sure it was, but yeah, Street Fighter 2. And yes, it's a game I got with Mario Kart. Was it Crimbo 1992? I'm guessing based on the release date. Absolutely love this game. Thought it was fairly good at Street Fighter 2 until Retro Red Steve kicked my ass last weekend at the Blackpool Expo. But yeah, love this one. Love the box art. It's absolutely awesome. I'm crap at playing as Blanca. I'm more of a Ryu stroke Ken kind of fighter. But yeah, corker. First game I played on the Master System. Shinobi, still a fantastic game. Loved the Shinobi series. This compared to what I'd had before with the Spectrum, albeit I still loved the Spectrum and those games. Quite a lot of them, you know, really playable, even if the graphics aren't all there. This just was like I brought the arcade back home, and yeah, some bloody tough. I won't mention. There's some tough bloody bosses in this. Again, Retro Red Steve knows his way around this game. Coach me through to completion. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? But yeah, a bit of Shinobi, and the last one. This is a new entry. So if I've been asked to do this VR 2 or so months ago, this wouldn't have been in here because it's a fairly recent. I say like pickup. I got this off of eBay. Wanted to get some further shooters for the Master System. Heard it's a fairly good game, and I think it is a pretty good game. And I ordered it, and was expecting it to turn up, and then probably like two days after ordering it, I got like a refund through on eBay, and I was just like, what? Nothing, no message at that time from the seller, and I was just like, what is going on with this? So I was a bit not, so to speak. But then a message came through, and it's basically it's a nice little. There's a note inside, but this was on sale by James, Retro Import Gamer. So I bought his game, obviously not knowing who he was. So fairly incognito on the eBay seller name. Fair play. I think mine's a bit too obvious. But when he saw the address and moreover the name of who he was sending it out to, he cottoned on it was me. So he refunded, sent me a message, pinged a note, and basically gave me this game for free. I mean, what a top blooming guy. I've tried to give him a couple of bits, and he's like, no, that's fine. But I think we've sorted something. I'll be seeing him fairly soonish, so I'll be handing that over. But yeah. Hi Ed, had a big surprise when I came to post my latest eBay sales and discovered you bought this one. Couldn't just send you the game, so thrown in some treats. I should have said there's some sweets and other bits in there. All the best, mate. James, Retro Import Gamer. It's a small community and a lovely community, and that is testament to just how bloody lovely it is and what a lovely guy James is. So he'll get a mention as well, a tag in the description. So yeah, cheers James, and like all gifts and things like this and trades, they're staying firmly within the collection. And that's 9 actually. There's one more, and the 10th one is on the shelf. Tomy game, Caveman, and a bit of a Pass Me Down, a game that my older brothers had that they enjoyed. Absolutely love this blooming game. Obviously, it's in the name, little caveman. You go along, you got to steal the dinosaur eggs without them breathing fire on you and or attacking you. And you've got pterodactyls. It takes a ton of batteries, but it's a really good game, really cool game. So yeah, won't be going anywhere this. And that is it. So cheers Tony, go and check out his channel. But yeah, cheers Tony for nominating me in this one. I'm going to nominate 2 people. Up to them, up to you guys. If you've got time to do it, cool. No rush, whatever. Equally, if you haven't got time and there's other stuff taking priority, life is busy, I completely get it. So certainly no obligations. The people I'm going to pick are my 2, I think, partners in crime from the fantastic Blackpool Play Expo. So yeah, that'll be Alex at U-Star Gaming, and also Scott, Marathon Gaming. So I'll tag them below, guys. If you want to get involved, would love to hear what your 10 games that you'd never sell are. And I'm sure, yeah, people watching, listening would love that too. And I love you and leave you. Catch you on the next one. Cheers.